Before the full guide was out, those have been out in some of the businesses to let people know about what the events are for this year and things to do. Sometimes some of our clerks and frontline employees at our businesses get asked by visitors or what is there to do in this town or that kind of thing. So that was just kind of a nice handout to be able to give people, to show them the variety of activities that we have here. So the proposal before you tonight kind of continues some of those things with promoting business and entrepreneurial development. Some of the things that the Chamber has identified as things that would be helpful to continue some of the things that we've started. One being the cable access channel management. We'd really like to see that taken to a higher level, being used more of a tool for the community, for city, schools, civic organizations, community events, those kind of things. We'd also like to centralize some communication. We've heard from different people and groups in the community that if there was a centralized source for information, you know, that one place to go that people know they can get what's happening, like the community calendar type things, and also what's happening with businesses and organizations. So we would maintain that community calendar and the business and organizational directory through a website. We'd also like to continue to promote the Valley through the regional, statewide, and multi-state publications. And that includes some ad design and coordination and ad management, so promotional and tourism type things, related ad requests that would just be directed right to the Chamber, and then with annual review by the city. We've also had some requests for postcards and those types of promotional materials from visitors that have come into the community or people returning to the community who haven't been here in a while. We'd like to have those types of things, and we can develop those. I've already contacted some photographers that would be willing to share their photos of the city and be able then to use those to help promote the area that we live in. And also, I think in some ways, after working at the depot and seeing how those postcards become mementos for history, I think we need some of those types of things that we can keep. Some good photographs of our community. We'd also like to do some planning, grant writing, and implementation of some other types of beautification amenities and wayfinding signage in the city. Where do you find the trailhead to the Magleson Bluff trails, and or how do you, if I'm going to drive there, how do I get there? I mean, some of us that have lived here for a while, we know how to find those things now, but what you think of it from a visitor's perspective when you come to town, that it's not always easy to find. Where do I get to Creekside Park, or where can I find out more information about geocaching or something like that too that we have available here. So that wayfinding signage is something that we would like to work towards the development of. In order to do these types of activities, we are proposing to enter into a contract for services with the city. So the payment request would be $8,500 over 12 months for the provision of these services to the city. And I presented it to the EDA last Wednesday, and they have recommended to move it forward to the City Council for consideration.
Would any money be coming from the EDA?
We've identified that fund. That's where it would come from.
That's what's coming from the EDA fund.
From the general. Again, the EDA was searching for projects that need to be done that would enhance the community, but also that might have a carryover effect for visitors, and to start to invest and take some baby steps, but really to take some leadership in the visitor side of things and put some attention and resources towards it in hopes that we might be able to start to develop that slice of our local economy. And so we feel that this is a good way to get started. There will be some direct benefits to the residents that live here, but there will certainly be some outreach to other people that either might come and visit or might come and move here. And this will be a fee for service. So it's not like we're just give them $8,500 and say, see you in a year. The intention is to look at these on a quarterly basis, provide some guidance and feedback, That would be billed on a quarterly basis, and again, the intention is that the chamber over time would, this isn't something that would be ongoing, would come back unless there's a good reason to. But we would expect that they could continue their outreach and build capacity for themselves and to add to their budget, and if these projects move forward and continue, that there would be less and less need for the city to participate in the cost sharing.
Will part of this be funded by the 3%?
No.
No, it isn't.
No.
This is just coming out of EDA. And that's one of the things that did come up in our EDA meeting was, you know, the length of this, not being an annual agreement. This is a one-time agreement with the hopes that this is enough to jumpstart them, to up their membership. And as Steve said, you know, find some other sources of funding so that it doesn't fall back on city shoulders.
And it's not to say that they could come back and say, you know, the cable access thing, we really like what you were doing there, we'd like you to continue that at a reduced cost.
Yeah.
Or, you know, we'd like you to do that, but we'd like you to start, you know, doing something else, or do some promotion videos or whatever. And again, those would be on a fee basis.
You know, there's always that little bit of area with using EDA funds to fund things that are occurring outside the boundaries of the city.
Yes.
And I know you've tried to be sensitive to that, but I would encourage the chamber and you as the director to get those other folks on board, and get them to understand that this is a collaborative effort. It has to be. And otherwise people in Rushford will start to, the businesses in Rushford will start to feel like the businesses in Lanesboro and say, well, why are we sending our money to Bluff Country? We'll just do our own.
And it wasn't, did come up in the EDA meeting. This isn't just the Rushford City EDA. They do have some other partners.
Yep.
To help with this. So
Yep.
I just think that was an
And it
important thing, because we felt the same way that, you know, it can't just be the city.
Yeah, I know we talked about it. We talked about it in the past on the EDA, but it's important for the entire community, the entire valley, to understand how important it is that we work together. And because people come to the valley, they don't necessarily just come to Rushford. They don't just necessarily come to Lanesboro either. They want to see more. So that's good. And I support this in its, and I sent a message to Steve too in regards to encouraging the EDA to not only work with the tourism thing, but to also be willing to look at spending the money it maybe takes to upgrade that video and market to businesses, small businesses outside of the Rushford area, and get them to start looking at the valley as a new home for them.